Bonjour TMM, this is Kazem Samandari, the Executive Chairman and co-founder of L'Opéra. I am delighted to welcome you today to one of our latest outlets, which is Le Café by L'Opéra, in conjunction with Le Gourmet. And we are together at the Chanakya Mall in Delhi. Well, L'Opéra started with a vision. And this vision was the vision of the co-founder of L'Opéra, who is Laurent, my son, our son, Christine and my wife and my son. The vision started back in 2008, and we wanted to bring the authentic French experience and the authentic French bakery and pastry products to the Indian audience. Obviously, there were in India some other operations. They were bakeries and pastries. They did look like French products, but they did not have the real authenticity. So we thought we bring not just products, but a full experience. And this experience required to have a nice environment, as you can see in the background. We wanted to have the colors, the decoration, the music, a full experience of taking our Indian customers to the heart of France in Paris. Well, we were told at the beginning that perhaps the Indian consumers, our customers, they may not understand what we were doing. But we always believe in their perspicacity, in their capacity to understand and recognize authentic products. So we thought we will do the real products at the real cost of it and the real environment. When we created that environment, we needed considerable amount of patience and perseverance. We had to work hard, we had to wait until the experience was communicated by the word of mouth. When you go to our outlets and you do a survey, you will see that over 85% of our customers are repeat customers. And you cannot get an enlarge your customer base just by advertisement and saying we are the best, we are the most authentic. You need to demonstrate it. People have to experience it. So yes, it took us a decade long until people realized what is real opera and what is the real experience. Patience, perseverance, commitment to quality, authenticity, and consistency. I think these are the key words of what we have been doing over the last years. Well, that is a wonderful question. If I would start with the first element, was the full commitment of our family. At the beginning, it was more members of the family, but today is Laurent, our son, co-founder of L'Opéra, my wife, Christine, and myself. First of all, we really share a common passion. And then we want to bring this Frenchness, this authenticity, this service to our customers. So we are there with our heart and soul. So that's the first answer that I can give you. Then the second challenge that we had, three people cannot handle the 20 outlets that we have now. So we had to communicate and to train our staff to also start to adopt this welcoming nature. And it had to come from the heart, so that we really want the people to feel comfortable. The people feel well. People feel that as if they are sitting at a street cafe in Paris, that we really share this warmth with them. So it is an everyday task, starting with the founders, with the family, and then transmitting it to our staff, and as we go along, also to our partners who are our suppliers. This is, again, a wonderful question. If I just take the example of the relations between France and India, which are really, I want to say always to people that it's like an unending honeymoon, because the relations between France and India, they are not just in one area. It's in the area of industry, it is environment, it's energy, it's defense, it's culinary, it's fashion, I believe French people, when they interact with other nations, they are not just tourists who come and who spend a little time and have a good time and go to the beach or just visit monuments. French people earnestly like and admire other cultures. So the love and appreciation of French people for India is extremely authentic. It is not self-centered, it's not transaction. And I know that on the other side, also the way Indians feel about France, it is also very authentic. So it is cultural, it is not just material, it is about shared values, it is about food, it's about culinary culture, it is about fashion, it's about textiles, it's about paintings, it's about music, it's about dance, it's about the whole civilizational relationship. And I believe this is also one of the reasons why France attracts many people who come. It goes beyond just going to the beaches of Cannes or south of France. It is deeper. And I believe that's what attracts so many. If I'm not mistaken, France is the recipient of the largest foreign tourists in the world. I think France has about 62 million inhabitants, and we receive over 19 million tourists every year. It's huge. It's huge. And I believe it has to do with that culture, authenticity, and deeper experience than just something which is superficial. This question goes to the core of our business. And I don't want to take credit for something which does not belong to us. Starting the coffee adventure or venture in India, there were other brands. There was Barista, there was Costa, there was Coffee Day, etc., who started bringing the coffee culture. Our contribution was to bring and to elevate this experience to a higher level. It was, let's say, the difference between the American way of enjoying a cup of coffee and the European way of enjoying coffee. When you go to France and you go to a cafe, it's not just about the cafe, it's a full experience. You know, some of the most famous French artists like Jean-Paul Sartre, or you had other artists, you had Picasso, etc. They were spending 4, 5, 6 hours of their day in cafes. They were writing in the cafes. Simone de Beauvoir and Jean-Paul Sartre, they were some of the icons of Les Deux Magots, which is a very famous cafe in Saint-Germain-des-Prés in Paris, or Café des Flores. So now what we wanted to do is to bring this experience, the beginning of the coffee culture, and to elevate it to a cafe experience the European and the French way. And France is known for its cafes, be it sophisticated cafes, be it street-side cafes, which are fantastic. You sit down there, luckily there is less pollution, you can see people outside walking, you can spend days. And there is something also which is very, very French experience of the cafe. Is something very, very unique. You have the street cafes where you sit down and you can spend as much time as you wish. And there is one unwritten rule that as long as your coffee cup is in front of you, nobody will tell you you should leave the cafe. So this is something wonderful that exists in France. This was indeed a fantastic learning experience for us. You know, there are festivities in all countries. But what happens, for example, during Diwali, it's unique. We had to learn that many businesses, they did up to 40% of their annual turnover just during the Diwali period. So, if you look back at our history, we had to learn what it is the Indian hamper, what is the tradition of giving gifts during Diwali. We had to learn like what it is when you have celebrations like weddings, like you had anniversaries, you had birthdays, even you had parties, this habit of giving return gifts. So we had to adapt our products and we had to develop, as you may see here, some of the examples, we had to adapt the products to be able to have long shelf lives, because the French bakery and patisserie, they have very short shelf life, and we had to adapt products which are suited to the Indian habits and the Indian culture. So it was a learning process. The first years we didn't even have them, but now this has become also a very important part of our operations and business. In terms of our gifting for Diwali, now Diwali is something that is celebrated from the top to the bottom. So you have families and people for whom nothing is too expensive. You can spend even lakhs for gifts. And then you have others that have smaller budgets, but still they want to have something authentic. So if I'm not mistaken, we have close to 20 different hampers, ranging from the price of about under 1,000 rupees up to about 15,000 rupees. And it gives in terms of size, it gives in terms of content, in terms of composition, it gives you an entire range of products from which it can be chosen. Some of them have only products. Some of them have additional gifts like diffusers, they have candles, they have mugs, they have trays, silver trays. Some of them are really sophisticated. Some of them are only our products. Some of them have other products that Indians love to give, like dry fruits. We have dragees, we have biscuits, we have chocolates. And this year, as you know, there is one product which is also very appreciated, and it is everywhere. We have developed at L'Opéra our version of the Dubai Kunafa chocolate. It is a very hot selling item. So we have developed this year also a special hamper which is based on the Dubai Kunafa chocolate. When people ask me about what is India, I say India is not just something simple. India is very vast. You have from people with very limited means until people who have unlimited means. So people who are in the business where we are, which we cater to the upper middle class and perhaps more sophisticated customers, even there you need to have a range of products. For Raki, it's a different matter. Raki is unique, it's for teams. So what we have done, we have priced our Raki hampers just under 2,000 rupees, which is very affordable, and you can do it once a year. In terms of our gifting for our Diwali products, since you do not buy necessarily only one hamper, we have customers who buy hundreds of hampers. It's from a corporate or an embassy, or you have a family who wants to send to all their customers. So there is a range. So our Diwali hampers start, if I'm not mistaken, from 990 rupees up to a range of 15,000 rupees. And we have about over 20 different hampers with a variety of products that are offered as hampers for Diwali. This is something which happened organically. You know, when you are, we started with just bakery and pastry offering, the formats that most of our customers are used to, which their kind of shop we had at our flagship store, which is in Cannes Market. Then we had the same thing in Select City Walk or Defense Colony, etc. With time, people wanted to have also more the eating experience. So we developed the concept of salon de thé, which are tea rooms, where we have a real menu and we serve real food to our customers. Then with time, people said, oh, can you also serve the same food either for meals or also for cocktails or for breakfast or for morning tea and afternoon tea, high tea, etc. at our events, at our homes. So then we developed a whole range of products, and today I can say that we have one of the largest offerings of cocktails, breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, even brunch and dinner, which can be served either in our outlets as a full set, or we can then offer those things at the private functions for individuals or also for companies at their facilities. And I would really like to thank TMM for giving me this opportunity to present, to speak about a subject which is very close to my heart, l'opéra, and also its latest operation, which is Le Café by l'Opéra, operating in the Chanakya in conjunction with Le Gourmet.